Laura A. Grace here, and as you guys can see, I have an awesome, amazing special guest, and I am super duper pumped. Welcome, the Manga Sloth. Hey, Manga Sloth.
Hello and hello, internet.
I'm so excited that we're doing this. Like we said before, like it's been a year since we last did something like this, so this is just so awesome to be able to like sit down with you and chat with you and hang out.
Absolutely. Been a long time, but it's good to be back.
Yes. And of course, you guys know we are talking about manga. I came to the Manga Sloth and was like, hey, you want to do a challenge together? Because this month is my birthday and just so excited to be doing an awesome celebration. And the Manga Sloth is one of my favorite manga tubers. He's just so much fun. Please, please, please go check out his channel. He always has fun and creative content all the time. So hopefully this will be just as fun. We're doing I think what I say, a clock challenge is what
Yes.
the name of it was.
Yes, I believe so. Time clock challenge.
Yeah, where we basically, well, we're like improvising this a little bit. Basically, we both chose just a little bit.
Just a little.
Originally, we were going to do where we chose manga that has a number in the title, but as we both found out that that's not quite as easy of trying to find, like, I guess maybe like doing ABCs, find ABC, go through the alphabet. So we decided to do where we just pick spines that have like 1 through 12, and then share about our picks going in order.
And there may be a little bit of time theme in some of the picks.
Yeah. That is true. That is true. I forgot about that. Yeah, I think I got 2 and I wish I would have thought about that more in depth before because it didn't even dawn on me to be like a little bit more creative like that. So hoorah to you, Manga Sloth.
Yeah, I might have 7 or 8 ish.
That's awesome. That's so much more than me. That's awesome, though. Well, do you want to kick us off and start what you chose for number 1?
Sure, and my number 1 is not time related, obviously. I haven't talked about this manga, but I wanted to. It's called Otaku Elf, and this is number 1, the one I picked. This is a series my wife reads, and she just picked it up on a whim. I don't know too much about it, but I do know that it's pretty funny. It's more of a funny slice of life feeling type of book. This elf is I don't know. One of these is a shrine maiden. I think it's this girl, and this elf is part of the shrine. She's a centuries-old elf that lives there, and she just wants to not work at the shrine, but she lives there with this girl, and she just wants to play the Switch, eat candy, energy drinks. She's a complete otaku, kind of a whiny baby, and the shrine maiden, this girl's got to get a hold of her. It's just a fun read.
That is awesome. I didn't know that your wife read it because I have seen somebody else recommend that manga, and I have been so on the fence. So I need to actually seriously check that out because it sounds really funny.
Yeah, she got it on a whim, like I said, knowing nothing about it. Tried volume 1, really liked it, and she's got 2 and 3 now, and that's all that's out. So, and she's read them, and she likes it.
That is awesome. Well, I think your wife has read this one because I believe you talked about this in one of your recent manga hauls, or I think so, or the like reading log. But for my number 1, I Swear I Won't Bother You Again.
Yes.
And that is the manga. Like, oh my goodness. I love this so much. I'm so excited. Like, I finally got volume 2 in the mail from Right Stuff, and I need to go pre-order number 3, and I was pretty excited. This is one of my like timey-wimey stuff since she goes back in time one year before, and she at the beginning, she hates her half-sister Mary June, tried to kill her, went through in jail, and that's when she's like on the jail floor like, I wish I could change things, and she suddenly gets that change back time. It is so great. I'm hardcore shipping her best friend and her. Not that anybody needs to know, but just to throw it out there. So I'm hoping for really good things. And this was sort of like the one you mentioned, Otaku Elf, where that I sort of went in blind a little bit to this, and I was just like, well, it looks pretty, and a friend recommended it, and it sat on my shelf, I think, for like 3 to 4 months, to be honest. It was until last month, or December, I mean, that I got actually serious and picked it up, and it was so good. It was so good.
Yeah, it has nothing to do with the manga, but I do like the filigree, like the border they put around the cover
Yes.
on it. I do like when they do that. It looks nice.
It does, and I like how all of them have. At least I'm pretty sure that all of them have like wrong side, the flower accent there. Sorry,
Yeah,
I feel like my
it
fingers.
might.
So, because I'm trying to think of. Oh, I have the other one right there. Yes, yeah, that one has the flower accent
Yes,
too.
yes, I remember that one.
Yeah. I have mixed feelings on this guy. I feel like he's going to change, though, in like typical manga fashion, and then I'll have even more mixed feelings at the end of the volume.
Well,
So,
I don't know that guy, but bad mixed feelings.
yes, I'm going to do that the next time I read about him, because I'm like, nope, like, you just need to get out. Like, I just don't
Get,
like him.
yeah, get off the page.
Right. That is exactly me, especially when I'm reading and start fussing at the character, even though they can't hear the fussing at.
My next one is, and I apologize, I have no clue how to say this name, and I've been trying to. Fierin,
I've been wondering how you say it, so you go,
and
because
Freerin. I'm not sure, and that is the name of this girl right here, which is an elf. Now this one has a little bit of time theme to it, in a way. This is a newer series that I've seen going the rounds in the community. A new Shonen Jump title. This is different. This is very different, and and different is good. There's so much
yeah,
stuff that's the same anymore. This girl, which is this name,
yeah.
I'd have to say it again. She saves the world with a group of adventurers, and she lives for thousands of years, and everyone else is human. So the
Oh,
time
yeah.
theme, yeah, the time theme is very emotional in ways that she just spends so much time doing random things because 100 years is a blip of time to her. But
Right.
everyone around her and that she knows is just withering away and dying. And she goes back and sees the adventurers that she saved the world with. Within a quarter of the book, we already have a 50-year time skip.
Oh my goodness.
So they're all old and decrepit, and then we had another 20-year time skip. Right now, I think we're almost 90 years time skip just getting into the second book.
Wow.
And it's dealing with her emotions and how she's just transitioning to be a better person and understand that all these humans that she deals with and stuff just can't live as long as her, and that are
Yeah.
dying. It was good. I really liked it. It was very interesting.
That sounds very different. More of a, I feel like just an emotional read than Shonen Jump or that Shonen Jump published, because usually it's all action and battle most of the time. So
Yeah, there definitely is some battles, and I think the battles are starting to come at the end of Volume 2, but
okay,
really setting it up. But it doesn't seem like your general every 5 pages there's a new battle, level up, new battle,
right,
level up, new battle, level up, new battle. But one thing I'll say is, just to give you an idea, she is trying to collect magic in like grimoires,
right.
and there was a scene, just to give you an idea. She's traveling with a new companion, this girl who is a human, and she wanted to look for a specific flower in a forest, and she says she was going to spend 3 to 5 years just looking for a flower.
Oh my
And then
goodness.
and then this girl's like, no. I'm going That's 5 years in human years. That
Yeah,
might be a blip on the radar to you, but this is going to
right.
ruin my life.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Yeah, that's definitely a oh man. I'm gonna have to check that out too then. I've been hearing really good things from people who have read that, like that it's very different, but like you said, like a good different.
Yes, I didn't pick it up myself. My wife actually got me Volume 1 as a Christmas gift.
Oh
So
neat.
so I went into it knowing nothing.
Yeah,
And I
yeah.
like it.
For my number two, this was one that somebody, well, I feel like their recommendation convinced me to get it, and that is Rosie in the Labyrinth. Maeve at Maeve of Reading, she recommended this, and oh my goodness, I haven't read volume two, but I love volume one. It's very outside of what I usually read. It has like that paranormal, supernatural element to it. But Rosie is so precious. She's so precious. And oh my goodness, and they have Jack. He's right here. Oh, wrong. Sorry, Jack. I love Jack so much. He's just such a great character, and he's really funny. But I was really shocked that like usually I can't do any like scary kind of stuff, but like Rosie offsets any of the what would be like the creepier elements kind of thing. So I was really glad that I picked it up, but I told myself that I could not read volume two until I got volume three because I just wanted to like binge read it and just Rosie's so precious. I know I just repeated myself, but I loved her. She's so adorable. Like all the characters in this were really cool, I feel like. And just they have a really great family dynamics, and I feel like they have like the found family vibe, so it has that touching element of them coming together even though they're all very different. And the labyrinth itself was really cool. And yeah, it was I'm really excited for the third volume. I forget when it comes out, but I've had it pre-order the last few months because I'm like, I do not want to miss this coming out. Like I need it ASAP. So I feel like, did you read this one? Because I feel like
I have not. My wife has read and owns one and two, and she will agree with you 100%. Rosie is so adorable.
She is. I was like, we need more young characters like Anya from Spy Family. Like, yes, they really do. I mean, I love Lloyd and Spy Family a lot, but like they really do like steal the show, so to speak. And just I was say they're so precious, but I'm like, I already said that. So yeah, that is the one I want to do for number two. And I guess there is a little bit of time stuff in there because we talk about, when the humans get lost in the labyrinth, that, things happen and more spoilery things happen. So time does change, and that they can physically change as well. So except for Precious Rosie, who hasn't changed at all. And hopefully she won't by the end at all. Hopefully she's still Rosie. What do you got for number three?
Number three, I picked The Rose of Versailles, number three.
Oh, man.
The Queen of Shoujos, as it's named.
Yeah.
This, I picked this one because first, I mean, this teal color is insane. I love it.
Yes, it looks so good with that pink.
And this like gold foiling filigree on the front. A little time tidbit. This is set back in the French Revolution, so back in time.
Right.
And this is a series. I have not read this. This is also my wife, by Ryoko Akita, and she was. This was made in the 70s, and then they just revamped it into these big hardcover volumes.
Yeah.
And I know that this series was ultimately the first shoujo manga to receive mainstream, critical, and commercial success.
Oh, wow.
So this, another reason why they call it the Queen of Shoujos is this one kind of like broke the glass ceiling or something to get shoujos mainstream and show that people actually want to read this type of book. I will say I don't know everything about this, but I do know when my wife was reading this, she was saying 100%. It just feels like the most tippy-top drama that you've ever read in your life. Just drama.
Oh my goodness.
Very, very shoujo-y.
Wow.
It's made in the 70s, so it's got that older art style.
Yeah.
And got some
colored pages
here. And also some gender things, I think that is a woman, I believe. Like the main character is kind of looks like a guy, but is a woman, but identifies as a woman though still.
Right. I had no idea that was the Queen of Shoujos right there. I've never read that series, so
Self-proclaimed, maybe. I mean, I don't know what Queen of Shoujo's means, but it's definitely
yeah.
that's what it says. So,
Yeah, I definitely believe it. I know that it does seem like it's a very strong classic, and just I just have to say now that if I buy a bunch of manga, I'm totally blaming you.
I'll
I'm
tell you what,
blaming
these have got to be some of the nicest hardcovers I own. They are insane.
I agree. Those are very, very gorgeous. Um, Mine's not quite as exciting as that, but I debated on this one, and I'm going to go with One Punch Man because it's my
Woohoo!
favorite villains ever on the cover. I love Speed of Sound Sonic. He is just, oh my goodness. I don't know what it is about him, but he is just my favorite. And I was like, anytime he comes on screen, haven't read all of the manga. It's been like 2 years since I started the actual manga, but my husband's been getting back into it, and he's been reading the manga, like the new chapters. So it was nice to, like, when I was thinking about like what series could I do, I was like, let's do One Punch Man, because One Punch Man is amazing. And I'm just like, I was telling him, I was like, I really need to get back on reading and finishing this because the art is so good, and it's just so much fun. Like all the characters, because I almost was going to do Genos, because Genos is definitely my favorite hero, but I was like, a chance to talk about Speed of Sound, like, let's go for it. Let's go for it. So I don't know if there's a lot of him in this one, surprisingly. I feel like he was more prominent in Volume 2, but he's on the cover, so that's what makes it cool.
And he's so fast, it doesn't take him a lot of time to do anything.
You're right. That was good.
Okay, keeping on theme of my wife reading more interesting books than me, we got a skull frozen in time, literal time on the cover.
Look, I did not think about any of that. That's so creative.
This is complete at 4 volumes. I did speak about this in a reading log, but so I think I can remember some stuff. There is a suicide at this school, but it seems to stop time, and they can't remember who died, so they're trying to figure out what's going on. So it's like kind of weird. They don't remember things, and then the whole school's frozen.
Gotcha.
Or like an emotional giant puzzle to try to figure out who that person is, why everyone's frozen in time, like time's not moving forward for the whole school and all the people inside of it. And concluding at 4 volumes, it was a very, very good series. I know not all short series are wonderful, and you kind of want them to, even if they end good, you sometimes want them you could say that they could have went on a couple more volumes or something, but this one felt great ending. I know that, and she loved it.
That's awesome. That's awesome. He's the same manga that did Your Lie in April, isn't it?
Yes, I believe so.
My pick for number 4 is not quite as exciting. I did Anonymous Noise for Volume 4, mainly because I was like, this is the series that I'm currently reading. And, well, I guess it does deal with some time elements because the main girl, Nino, she grew up with her best friend. I can't remember his name off the top of my head. Momo. They grew up together, but then something happens, and he ends up moving away when they're 6 years old. And so she hasn't seen him for many, many years, but he told her that your voice, your singing would be the beacon of light that would lead me to you. And so she keeps singing, hoping that one day he'll show up. Well, lo and behold, in high school, she sees him, and he's now sort of like a producer of sorts. She didn't know that right away, but now she's trying to, I wouldn't say get his attention because that sounds bad when I say it that way, but she's trying to get his attention, I feel like, in a good way of like, this is me, I'm not going to let you ignore me. So she pours her time into improving her singing and becomes part of a band, and there's some other drama that's woven in with that, but that's as far as I've gotten because I'm supposed to be starting this volume next, but then I got sidetracked by other stuff, aka Orange. But this is the next one that I plan to read.
That's interesting. I've always wondered about anonymous noise. I've seen it a lot of places. Do you like it a lot?
Well, it's funny. When I read Volume 1, I did like Volume 1, and I'm not a big fan of love triangles, even though I do know that's like super popular in shoujo manga.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
So I was sort of like, I don't know. But then I read the second one and I felt fully on board. And then I read the third one and I definitely liked it a lot as well. Because in the second one, I can say I did not like Momo, even though I'm pretty sure I'm supposed to be cheering for Momo. But I was like, no, we're just not. So the third one left me liking Momo a little bit more. And I liked how things have been. I feel like it's not like typical in the sense of where it feels predictable, I should say. Though I'm sad that this dude's eyes are like completely covered by the barcode. Because my
Yes.
library, for whatever reason, is like, we're gonna put them on the front. Like, can you not put them on the back? There's so much space. Like, don't put them on the front. So, but yeah, they're all the barcodes on like right above their heads, and I'm just like, so, but it's been pretty good. I was the same way where I was just really curious, and then somebody on my YouTube channel commented that they really liked it, and I was like, well, I'm just gonna give it a try because I've been really curious, and so it's been good so far. I put it on hold, but I have really liked what I read, and I do like the music aspect. I wish we could hear the music, but I think I thought about maybe watching the anime specifically just to be able to hear what music they're playing. So, but it's been good though. It's been good.
I didn't think about that, but that is actually interesting that the anime can give you something way different than the manga in the way that you'd be hearing the music that they're actually playing,
Yeah,
like how everybody's feeling about what's being played.
yeah. Because there's moments where Nino is playing, or like when she's singing. Like this might be a good one where like they're singing and she gets really emotional because she always wears a mask because she feels like a face mask because she feels if she takes it off that she'll be like this right here where she's just got like all these emotions that she can't contain, that she can't handle, and it just comes rushing out. Like they call her I think they call her a canary, and that she just can go off of her perch very unexpectedly. So the band members are like, don't worry, we'll be here to help you if you fall, kind of thing. So it's been good so far. I was surprised how much I was like, I'm okay with this love triangle that's not a love triangle, but definitely is a lot of drama that seems like a love triangle. So, typical shoujo stuff.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. Okay, I am noticing a theme with my books. Every one that I have that is dealing with time is a more emotional read.
Interesting.
Time is emotional, I suppose. Uh, and for number 5, I picked Erased.
Oh.
And Erased it has got to be one of the most emotional books series that I've ever read. It probably the closest thing to ever get me to cry. It is brutal,
Yeah.
but in a goodish way. It does deal with time. The main character is sent back into time. He was kind of a outcast type person, and he was sent back in time to his school. So he was back being a little kid, and there was back when he was growing up, there was a set of murders with little children, and it kind of gets him involved back into it, and he remembers, and he starts saving all these kids' lives. Wow. As a little kid. He kept his memories. So I'm trying to not spoil anything. It's so deep. It's hard to explain.
Yeah.
But all these little girls and boys that got murdered, they were like outcasts, and they weren't popular and everything. So it's really friendship building, and he was kind of an outcast too. So it gets real emotional that these kids have issues in their lives and problems, and he's just helping them and growing with them and becoming so. My goodness, this is an emotional series. Holy. And then I'll say something happens when he's back in time and he gets put into a coma.
Oh no.
And that coma lasts 15 years. So we have a time skip that goes backwards, and then we have a time skip that goes back to present. So it's
Right.
really different. And I'll just say everything ends up good. I'll let you discuss the ending yourself.
Yeah,
But
I was like, oh man, it sounds like you'd have like a bad or sad ending. So
only 4 books in the series. This is number 5, which is the series is over. Number 5 is like it focuses on different perspectives
okay.
of when things were happening, and
Right.
this is what he's more known for. And you can watch the anime. I think it's 10 episodes. But as I've said, the last two, the last two episodes in the anime are 100% different than the manga and are
Yeah.
worse.
Yeah.
So don't watch the anime. Just read
Yeah.
it.
Is that hardback, by the way?
Yes, they're all hardback. These are slip covers.
Oh wow. That's
Um,
nice.
I am reading his other work that maybe other people have seen. It's called The Kid I Saw in My Dreams. Also very emotional and hardcover. This guy just apparently wants to pull your heartstrings with everything he writes.
Yeah, yeah. So if we want to talk about the master of emotion and making you feel all the things, then we
Uh-oh.
have to talk about One Piece for number
Ah!
5. I was like, oh my goodness. I have to say, I struggled with what One Piece volume I wanted to do. And like, I was going to do, because I think it's for number 10 that I had a little bit of a harder time. And I was like, oh, well, let's just do One Piece. But then it had Arlong on it. And I was like, no, we're not. He's not my favorite. So, I mean, that's a really good archetype. But I was like, it has Usopp. And I was like, Usopp's one of your favorite characters, right?
Yeah, I love this up. He's great.
Yeah, and this one was so good. This is, I mean, I was at, oh, and Luffy's ice cream on the back. He's so amazing. So I was like, let's go with number 5. And it was so funny because what like restirred the embers to like, man, I need to seriously read One Piece is when I was trying to choose a volume for this video. Because I think I read some of volume 1 and then I read other parts. And then I was reading about Sanji, like when he was like a little kid in this one and he meets the chef. And just I was like, oh my goodness. The interesting thing, then I don't know why this happens, is like, why in the anime do the characters always look older? Because Luffy looks so young here, and even Usopp and Nami, but I was like, they look so much older in the anime. Well, not like super older, but enough where it does like play with my mind a little bit, because I'm like, I'm not sure how old Luffy is. Do you know how old Luffy is?
Uh, 16, I think.
Okay, that's nice.
He's 15. He's 14, 15, or 16.
Yeah, something. We just know he's in your age though, but he looks like, I think my husband said he felt like maybe he was about 18 in the anime, and he does look like he is older. So that's like the hardest thing. So I was like, that's why I need to just read the manga, be cool like the MangaSloth, and read the One Piece manga, not just watch the anime like me.
The next one I picked is number 6, Land of the Lustrous.
Yes.
Oh, heavens. This was my top read for 2021. I started the series, and it was my absolute favorite. I have never read anything like it, and I've read a lot of things. The art style is 100% different than normal art styles. It's very wavy and just way open and weird. It's going to be almost impossible to give a complete synopsis of this, but the world is completely different. These are all gems. There is gem people, then they're named after their exact gem, like we have on Earth, like diamond, ruby, sapphire, opal, and that's what they are. Their whole body is a gem, and they are protecting the supposed Earth from these random beings that almost look like clouds that show up in the sky.
Wow.
And I'm not even sure if I can explain what is going on in the series. It's so different, and this is volume 6, but we're up to volume 11, and there is a the thing that has to do with time, I got a little time thing here, is we just had a 300-year time skip, which is crazy.
That is crazy.
300 years. I don't know if, there's probably bigger time skips out there, but boy, 300 years.
Yeah.
It it's emotional in ways, and you're rooting for the main character, and also not. I'm sorry, internet. Please look this up because it's so hard to explain. I've never read anything at all, even remotely like this.
Yeah, man, it's crazy that you feature this one because literally just early this week, my friend was like, "You really need to watch it." She's like, "If you can't get the manga, go watch the anime at least," because she said, "Yeah, it's so different than anything else." I mean, almost exactly what you're saying. It's so different from anything else she's ever read before.
And these covers, I mean, every single cover is
Oh,
bonkers and gorgeous looking with the
yes.
art style. I
Yeah.
would recommend reading it if you can get the manga. It hits a little different than the anime does.
For my number six, I don't know if it's quite as exciting as that this was a pretty different read for me, and that was One Week Friends. This does have some time elements to it, so that was pretty exciting. Yeah, our main girl here, for whatever reason, every week she forgets her memories, and every Monday when she goes back to school, she doesn't know who anybody is. And this young man over here, he wants to befriend her, not just because he thinks she's cute and he likes her, but he wants to help her get her memories back. And so that begins like their journey through this manga of him trying to help her and other things. Sorry, I was about to say a spoiler. So like I was like, wait, stop.
Yeah, it's okay.
So the interesting thing about this manga, this one doesn't have it. Yeah, here we go. As strongly in volume 6, but it's this kind of storytelling. Sorry,
Okay. Yeah, I see.
the 4 panel, and some people said that was sort of like not as exciting for the first volume, but I felt like it pushed things a little bit faster and made it more lighthearted, I guess, because there was always a little bit of a humor element. Because when it gets to the point where it's more of a like manga in the sense of like this, it does get a little bit more emotional, especially when you start getting to volume 6 and 7, and then she sees somebody, and things are triggered, and more things are triggered, and it's like a domino effect. And so, it was really good. This was another recommendation from Maeve, and interesting premise of having. She doesn't forget her family or anything like that. It's literally just her friends that she forgets each week and starting over. It sort of reminds me of like 51st Dates, the movie, but without the romantic element to it.
Ladies and gentlemen, I just want to say over on, let's see, this side, Laura, she is way better at telling synopsis and things about books, so I apologize.
No, you did great. You did great.
Okay, number 7 here, I got Aria, the Masterpiece.
Oh my goodness. I have always wanted to read that. I didn't know you had that.
Yes, I bought volume 1 to see if my wife would like it. She did, so I went and bought this year, or last year, I bought the other 6 for her.
Oh my goodness.
This is number 7. It looks a little different because number 7 doesn't. Here's number 1 to give you an idea. As you can see, Aria is written on the side.
Yeah, it's got that gold foil.
This one does. This one does not. They chose for number 7 to just leave it as a full cover.
Yeah.
Aria is set. Aria is a weird series.
Really?
Say. Yes, it's set on planet Aqua, and that is the world once known as Mars. And this girl wants to become a gondolier, so you can kind of see her in the water there, and she is in a gondola.
Yeah.
There's a futuristic city that kind of like resembles Venice, where all the gondola stuff is.
Yeah.
And she wants to rise the ranks in this company. There's like other water guide companies on the moon, and they're all trying to be the best. And one thing is this might be hard to see. She's holding this like fat weird cat thing.
Yeah.
That's actually her boss. He is
That's her
the
boss?
yes, I believe he is the he can speak. He is the I would say I don't know if this is the right word, but he's like the CEO of the gondola company.
Oh my goodness. I thought that was a pit.
I do know the main person, the boss is a cat. It's a weird manga, but it doesn't feel weird, if that makes sense. It's not like you're getting all
Yeah.
these weird aspects. It's very laid back, chill, slice of life feeling, relax and read and enjoy. Great series.
Okay. Well, I need to look into that. I think, well, I don't know if that order, what they're out of print, but Right Stuff is doing that special kind of reboot kind of thing. I don't know if that's already passed or not. I mean, it sounds sort of odd when you read like the blurb, but then
Yes.
when you're explaining, it sounds really interesting though. For my number 7, I haven't read this one, but this one I feel is like one that everybody needs to read. At least that's what people say to people who haven't read it. So I did A Silent Voice, and this is the only one I have, to be honest, of this one. But I thought it weird that my library has the whole series but volume 7, and I was like, is there not like the final volume? But it even says on the back right there the final volume. So I know the box set got pushed back or from like and has like this special, is it the girl's journal or something like that? So I don't know. I thought about like, why don't I go ahead and read the library edition and the only volume I have, and see if I would like to get it. But I've heard it's so good and such an impactful story, and I debated if I should go and start it. I'm like, I read Orange, and that one hit all the feels. Might as well pour more feels and start A Silent Voice as well. So I don't know, but I wanted to feature it because this is one series that this year I told myself I really need to read because I feel like I'm missing out on the like how touching this story is and whatnot. So, though you seem you have read it, is the ending pretty bittersweet? I mean, I know this series that I think is not necessarily romantic, but then I feel like somebody shared a spoiler, and I was like, does it end really bad? Because the spoiler I saw was like, I don't know. I feel like it implied that things do not go well at the end of the series. I don't know if you're able
Okay.
to answer that at all.
I think you will like the ending. I only watched the anime. My wife has watched and read it. She loves it, and I do agree. This is one of those series that I think, if you're even remotely into manga, it's one of those you
Okay.
gotta try to read. It's gonna be one of those classics that just lasts forever. It's very
Yeah,
good, but also emotional. Obviously, it's gonna touch you in the feels.
that is definitely what I've heard. I mean, I feel like not many people have read it and didn't say that they either did cry or they felt like crying or just felt extremely moved by the story itself.
One thing I don't ever hear is from people who read it. I'd never hear people say I didn't like it. And that's one thing I
Yeah,
never hear.
that is true. I can't say I've ever heard that either, as well. So yeah, that's I wanted to include that because I was like, Laura, you're saying this at the beginning of the year. You need to actually read it because last year I told myself, you get this 7th volume so you can start it. And every time I go to the library and if I go to the manga section, it's there. So I'm like, I really don't have any excuse why like I can't read it already.
So this was not planned, but my number 8 is also like your number 7. It is To Your Eternity
Oh man,
by the same creator as A Silent Voice.
really,
Yes,
really, really? They?
I believe so.
Oh
Oma?
my goodness.
What is it? Yoshitokoi Oma? Omaya?
Yeah. Oh
Yeah.
my goodness. I didn't realize that. Oh man. I did not realize
And
that.
I've pitched To Your Eternity, and I think everyone's catching on. This is one of those series now that I believe, also like A Silent Voice, every single person should read. It is so amazing. There's nothing like it on the market,
Yeah.
and it's kind of crazy how good it is. I didn't know how good it is. My wife read it, and I never got into it, but it was just blowing her away. And Every time I ever talked to her, she said, "This is my favorite manga. This is the best thing I read this whole year. This blah blah blah." So I don't know anything about number 8 to 14, but I have watched the anime
Okay.
in dub, which I believe goes up to like volume 6. Holy smokes!
It's good.
Please watch or read it. It is amazing. I didn't know how much I would like it. It's just another one of those series that's kind of hard to explain. It's so different. There's I'll say an entity of some sorts that's put on Earth in the form of like a rock, and it has the ability to absorb a host. Oh, I feel like I'm already butchering this. If
You're doing
there
great.
if there's a host that passes away and it has an emotional connection or some emotional painful connection to it in some kind of way, and it starts off that there was this wolf that was injured and died on the rock, and then it was able to take over the rock. If you read volume 1, you'll understand immediately what's going on, but it's going to end up being one of the better things that I own and have read or watched ever, and I know for a fact. And like I said, made by the person who made Silent Voice. So if Silent Voice is that good, believe me, this is that good also.
Maybe that'll be the thing that pushes me over to read it, because I remember like eyeing the manga, but or I think it was more of the anime, but I heard it was really emotional, and I was like, I
Oh
don't
boy.
know about this. And so I haven't started about, but everybody, yeah, that has read it says that, it may sound like a trippy premise in a way, but that when you start it, it's very, very good.
It's hard to explain, but the mangaka has such a way of getting you connected to
Mm,
characters that you wouldn't think. Like it blows my mind that I sometimes you read a series and you're really connected to like one or two characters, the main character, a
yeah.
side character. This guy makes you care passionately about almost everybody. It's
Wow.
ridiculous.
Yeah.
Read it.
I will have to add that one to my TBR. That one I can say might take me a little bit longer, because I gotta get over, like, I don't want to cry when I read manga. I want to be happy. So, like, just gotta get over that hurdle. And once I get over it, then I'm good. Just gotta get over
I
that hurdle.
will say there will be sad tears, but they eventually will heal, and it gets not to spoil anything. Things get different, and wow, I'm really vaguing this.
It works
uh,
though. It works though. You're mentioning that there won't be sadness basically the whole time, which is what I need.
and you'll be sad about certain people, but we'll just say they may come back.
Okay, that
Maybe,
works.
if that
That
makes
works.
sense.
That works. For this one, for number 8, I had to do Rengoku because he's my favorite character in Demon Slayer. At least I'm 99% sure, because, it changes from time to time. But Rengoku, yeah, pretty sure he holds the number 1 spot because he's just amazing. And he's just amazing. Like, there's nothing else to say except for he's amazing. And I haven't finished reading Demon Slayer, but the manga really does know how to like, you feel bad for characters that you never would imagine you'd feel bad for. You know what I mean? I don't know, but I had to just share with Goku specifically because I just wanted to share him. And he's just so inspiring and so amazing, and I can't help but love him and be on the hype train for Rengoku.
Uh, I think they did a great job with that character because if you know, he really wasn't in the series that long.
Yes.
And for him being there in that short a time, he became a fan favorite. And as you see, people love him.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of like filler episodes, but I will not lie that my favorite episode from the anime is definitely that one filler episode with Rengoku. Like, that was the best. Like, whoever came up with that, like, thank you. You saw the Rengoku fans that wanted more and gave us that. And I was like, I'm okay. I'm okay. So that was, though it made me wish that it was in the manga and that it was canon and that I could, actually read that. So, but this is another series, yeah, that's on my TBR to actually finish. I think I got to volume 3, and it was sort of like the wrong moment at the wrong time, because I was like, this is so dark, like much darker than shoujo. And so I was like not ready. But interestingly enough, Demon Slayer, like, I feel like it's more darker and more violent than what I typically read or watch. But yet, with the second season of the anime, each week I'm looking forward to like a new episode, and just I never expected this kind of story to impact me as much as it has, or like be head over heels for like half the characters. Like it's just a really compelling and moving storytelling, I guess, even if I'm not always happy with the things the manga makes the characters do, but that's okay. It's still really good. It's still really good.
All right, number 9. I picked Flying Witch.
Oh, isn't this a new manga? Or oh no, that's volume 9, so it can't be super new.
9 is the most recent one, I believe. So 10's
Okay.
coming out this year. I will say one thing right off the bat. If you're looking for a happy slice of life manga, this Flying Witch, and I don't care what you say, is the best slice of life manga you can probably find. And
Awesome.
if you hop on the internet and type slice of life manga, this will be in the top 3 of every list you will find anywhere. I picked up volume 1 for my wife to see if she would like it, and she said it was okay. And then she tried number 2, and then she immediately took back what she said and said it was amazing. And here we are at volume 9.
Yeah.
And she's clamoring at the mangaka to get a new volume. It's slice of lifey. It's not exciting. You're not going to be getting battles and stuff, but it is a story about a witch who moves to live with her relatives as a part of training, and it just follows her daily life as she gets used to the environment and all these different beasts and characters and things she finds. I'm trying to find some, like it's hard to show, but there's like all these little cute beasts everywhere that always like that. There's
Yeah.
that pop up, and my wife is always showing me all these like little chibi cute beasts and everything. If you want to relax and then go to sleep and read something that you'll love and enjoy, this is the one. This is the one.
Okay. Yeah, we all need those slice of lives, to be honest, because those are some of the best. And I guess to tie that in with my number 9, Kimi ni Todoke. Awesome.
Yes.
Slice of life. Yeah, so like yes. And I thank you for like convincing me to finally read this. I think I read it not this past Christmas, but the Christmas before that. That just oh my goodness. I was like rereading volumes when I was like debating like what to do for number 9. And I'm just like, this series is so good. I'm like, it's so good. It's such an excellent romance. And I'm like, man, I couldn't imagine being like a teenager at the time and like reading this as it was coming out and like graduating basically alongside these characters. You know what I mean? Just, oh, I love that we're like featuring all the slice of life, because I think that's like deep down one of my favorite genres, even though I think because it's not always like it'll be said like it's a contemporary or it's like a romance or something. You don't always hear that it's a slice of life first. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Slice of life's really great. I like that how you said that it can be really relaxing, especially to read before bed, because reading something like Demon Slayer before bed is not always the best thing, because then you're thinking about like the action and like, or at least for me, of like what happened and speculating.
Yeah. Sometimes when I go to bed, I read the like Black Clover, and it's just from front to cover pure action. My adrenaline's running.
Yep.
And then sometimes I just need to relax and read A Man and His Cat.
Yes. Which I still need to read A Man and His Cat. I almost got the Right Stuff bundle. I feel like I should have, but I got, was it the Apothecary Diaries? I think is the name of that title.
Yes, yes, I know.
I got that one instead, though.
This one next is, it's the closest to my heart probably of anything, and that is Yu Yu Hakusho. I picked number 10 here.
Yeah.
I mean, what's there to say? This is, Togashi has made the 2 greatest shonens ever created, Yu Yu Hakusho and Hunter x Hunter. And this came before Hunter. I don't know, not really any time themes. I guess there is a time skip in there, but
yeah,
just kind of picked it because I wanted to just stick Yu Yu Hakusho on the screen. Best tournament arc in a manga series, also fact.
Yeah.
It follows Yusuke Urameshi. He's a spirit detective, and his job is basically to hunt down bad spirits You know?
Yeah, I love the first volume a lot. I read that for the collaboration I did with my waifu and me. And yeah, you were the one that recommended that for that prompt that I
Oh
had.
yeah, yeah, I remember.
It was so good. It was so different than I expected. I think because I heard like they said like the spirit detective. I think I thought it would be something different, but Yusuke's just he's such a fun guy to follow, and he's just I don't know he's very different than I feel like what I've read. And sorry, I feel like this is yours, and I just started rambling.
Yeah, no, no, I love it.
So, but he's just I don't know. I feel like the manga, at least from the first volume that I read, really balanced out the like you have the action and whatnot, but you also have sometimes like tender-hearted moments, like the moment with the chapter that has the dog in the first one. Do you know which chapter I'm talking about?
Yep, yep.
Oh, that was so good. That was so good. That's one of my favorite chapters. Like I would gush to a friend, I was like, "You need to read it just for this chapter alone. You're a pet lover. Like, go read this."
Yeah, Tagashi does a wonderful job of not, and as also people have seen in Hunter x Hunter, such a wonderful job of separating the shonen and bringing it up to a level of seinen if he needs to, and then also jamming any other genre you want in there, shonen, not shonen, shoujo,
Yeah.
and the way he does his characters, I think, is just wonderful because Kuwabara is just a perfect example of an amazing side character to Yusuke.
For number 10, I did Teasing Master Takagi-san. I've had this on my shelf for a good hot minute now, and this is sort of like a silent voice where my library had up to volume 9. And I was like, well, I'm going to start buying volumes and catching up. And I never did. It's just like sat there. So I was like, Laura, you need to talk about this so you can put it back on your own radar and start reading it again. Because I did enjoy the first one, and I just read her other work, When Will Ayumu Make His Move? I read that one today, and that one has very similar vibes of this one, but it's like reverse. So rather than the guy getting picked on, it's the girl this time. But it was fun. It's different. Like it's very, at least in the beginning, it was very episodic like. So there's not much of a plot except for seeing how she can get Takagi like upset and teasing and such. So it's a cute read. I think it's one of those that like if you just need something that's really lighthearted, doesn't have much of a like quote story to it, but just brightens your day kind of thing. So eventually I will catch up. Eventually.
All right, what are we on? 11? 11 I picked again.
Oh yes.
And I think there's 12 volumes in again. I think it's complete at 12 volumes. Weird series. I was given this as a gift. This is not something that I would normally read, but I'm open to read anything, obviously.
Yeah.
But this one is pretty cool. It's not typically what I read in the fact that it's maybe borders slice of life and like a smidge shoujo.
Interesting.
It's this main character here on the front. He was like an outcast, kind of like almost like an emo gothy type of kid, didn't really have many friends, and like on the last day of school he falls down the steps and kind of knocks him out, and it sends him back to the beginning of high school, so like 4 years in the past. So
Wow.
it's one of those stories.
Yeah, yeah. Ooh, a time manga right there.
Yes, time. I really liked it, and him going back, he decides to not be such an outcast. He retains all his memories, so he knows everybody, and he helps out, and he joins this group of like, I forget what it's called. It starts with an O or something. It's like a cheering squad in Japan. It's not the cheerleaders, but it's like a professional cheering squad to cheer on baseball teams and sports teams and stuff. Yeah, and this one girl who is it's hard to see. That's the right there. She's the captain of it. It went in his previous school when he was an outcast. It fell under and the group ended, and it was like the thing that she loved to do the most, and nobody wanted to do it because they thought it was lame. So
Oh,
so he decided to help her out, and it just really cool to see him being such a jerk, and then going back in time and I
Yeah.
don't know, changing his attitude and becoming
Yeah.
a better person and changing a lot of people's lives. So it's one of those type, and it's really nice.
That's cool. I know our library has the first volume, and I think of you when I see it because I know you mentioned that, yeah, that you had really enjoyed it. Well, this one I'm really excited to talk about. Well, probably not too much because I haven't actually read it, but this is another MangaSloth influence, and that is my love story.
Yes.
I did this one because this cover, isn't it on your manga wall that you have?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. I have number 11 and 12, the one with him in the cowboy hat, also up
Oh,
there.
that is the one volume I need. That is literally the only one. I have the whole collection, but volume 12, and I'm hoping, like, I've been stalking on Macari, like, somebody just sell this one volume for a reasonable price, but nobody has sold it. And I'm just like, it's the one volume I need. And so I can't start it. Well, I guess technically, yes, I could start it because I could buy it digitally. But I was like, I have the whole series in paperback, but one volume. Like, I was like, I really bought just that one volume. I'm like, it's one of my favorite covers in the whole series.
Let's just say that the artist for the series does such an amazing job with these covers. They are hilarious and wonderful.
Yeah, yeah. And so I'm really glad I finally got it because I feel like somebody on my Instagram years ago recommended it to me and was like, you really need to check it out. And so I checked it out from my library at that time. And for whatever reason, I could not get into it at first. And, years later, I, reread the first chapter, like the preview before I got it, and absolutely loved it. And it's like one of those times where I'm just like kicking myself, like, why? Why? Just why? So, but I wanted to talk about this one. I did love her high school debut though. Like that series is amazing, and I don't think I realized right away that she wrote my love story as well. But I literally just saw a picture of this morning on Instagram of somebody gushing how amazing these characters are. So I'm gonna get on this hype train with you. I'm gonna do it. I just need volume 12 so I can do it.
Yeah, I was really surprised. I had it purchased and in the house for months, and it just sat for months and months and months. And one day I said, okay, well, let's just try it. And after
Yeah.
volume one, I was like, this is amazing.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I'm not the typical shoujo type of person, and it just blew me away. I'm like, I'm reading this.
Yeah, well, what's interesting? Another person I know, her husband really, really enjoys this series as well. So I feel it must be one of those special kind of series that it may not matter
I
who
don't think
necessarily
it does. It
is.
transcends borders.
Yes. Yeah. Which is really cool. I love when you can find like a series that does that and is just enjoyed by everybody regardless of who it's geared to.
All right, last one here. I chose Hina Matsuri.
Ah, yay!
I mean, broken record here, but what a weird series. I mean, I'm just showing weird series. Started off, I got like 5 volumes of this for a great deal, and I actually wasn't planning on reading this series at all. I actually gave it to my wife, and I said,
Oh,
I think you'll like it. So
yeah.
I got it as a gift for her. She tried it. She did not like it.
Mm.
She read volume one. She said it's not my thing, and she just wanted to drop it. So I was like, dang it. But then I picked it up and read it, and here I am at, I think I have volume 13 too, and I need more of it ASAP. It's amazing. It's a little weird. This
Yeah.
girl here in with the blue hair, she is a psychic of sorts. Like she can do psychic powers and stuff, move things around and stuff like that.
Right.
And one day she just drops and is thrown into this guy's apartment, and this guy is a higher level yakuza in Japan, and she just doesn't want to leave, and it's just so hilarious. And he's not the best yakuza, but they kind of form a partnership in a way, and she destroys like an enemy's warehouse all by herself, tons of people and stuff, and she allows him to have all the credit. So
Yeah.
he just rises up in the ranks because he's got this secret weapon. It's just hilarious. And then she's kind of like a daughter to him in a way, but not really.
Yeah.
And she's just so sloppy and dirty and doesn't want to clean or do anything and just sleeps in school. And it's just hilarity all around. I love this series. It's weird, but love it.
Yeah, I did read volume 1, and it was very different, but I laughed a lot though because yeah, like I said, they make an interesting partnership where they're not quite like a father and daughter, but they have a little bit of that element, at least in the first one. But it was interesting. It was definitely nothing like I've read before. So for my final one, of course, I have to do it. I had to do Haikyuu.
What? No one's seen that coming.
I was like, I'm gonna do volume 12 because all of the guys are on there. This isn't my favorite cover. I mean, it is, but like when I've tried to take pictures of it, because they have like a weird, I don't know, Hinata has like this weird, it looks like they're all got like a little bit of like a whitish outline to them. So,
Yeah, that's it.
I don't know. It was harder to like take photos with it. I know that's not really important in the scheme of things, but I was really excited to be able to feature it here because I talk about Haikyuu all the time. No surprise. So I was just like, Haikyuu has to be in this video at some point. And yeah, it's just a great series. I won't ramble about it because we'll be here all day. So hopefully one day I can convince you to read it, though I do get that it's super long. But 45 is really small in light of One Piece 100 volumes. So it is a sports story, so it is different in that aspect,
Well, hopefully they make some kind of box sets for it or something someday. That'd be cool.
Yes, I am bummed that Europe has a box set, but I'm like, what about us?
Yeah,
like,
what about us? US.
Exactly. I'm like, that'd be so nice, especially since I've seen the box set has like a really cool design in the inside. I'm like, even though I have the series, I'm like, I'll just take the box set just for the box alone. Like, that's one time I could say I'd be one of those people, like, you see people just sell the box itself. Like, I would buy that. Like, I would totally buy just the box. Well, this was so much fun, MangaSloth. Thanks for like sharing about your manga choices and doing this with me. So much fun. Like, I hope you had a great time too.
Yes, I did. Absolutely.
So definitely, guys, please go give him a follow. He's on Instagram, here on YouTube at TheMangaSloth. Like I say, he has great videos. His content's just all awesome, and he's a great person to talk to, as you guys saw. So please go give him a follow and check out all this stuff. And again, thanks so much, MangaSloth.
Thank you, Laura. And if anyone is watching from the MangaSloth, which you better be, you need to, right down below, hit subscribe and the bell icon, like, comment to all of Laura's content, and stay tuned because she does such wonderful posts on Instagram and such great in-depth videos. So make sure you like, comment, subscribe to her, please.
Well, thank you, and same for you. I'm so thankful that just the manga community brought us together and that we could just hang out and just share our love for manga. So make sure you guys go like his videos too, and I hope you guys just have a great day, and we'll see you guys next time.
See you later.